And today's video is a part one of a chipping 3 do's and don'ts. Tomorrow you're going to see pitching 3 do's and don'ts, but today we are talking chipping. All the videos that I'm going to be doing on the channel are very much related to, or directly related to, the lessons that I give here at the Academy on a daily basis. So I'm not just kind of making up different areas that we might see as an issue, but I'm relating them directly to lessons that I've given very, very recently. So talking about chipping today, and the 3 crucial elements of chipping that I see are golfers with stances that are too wide, the mentality of trying to get underneath the ball, and weight distribution. First up, we are talking width of stance. So normally when you get a 7-iron in your hand, you're looking at getting your feet around about shoulder width apart. And that's allowing your body to transfer a little bit of weight during the swing and also give you a wider arc, allow you to have a wider arc to create power and also to create a nice steep angle of attack as you start to transfer your weight into your downswing. However, with chipping, we really don't have time for all of that, okay? So what we like to try and see is a narrower stance, and I would kind of say use your golf club, okay? Use the length of the club head, and just try and get a feel for how wide it should be based on the width of the head. So I would always say use 2 club head widths would generally be an approximation for your chipping. I see golfers that are a little bit narrower. That's absolutely fine. They can use 1 or you can use 1 and 2. Okay, that's what I would like to kind of see. For chipping in short range in and around the green, I wouldn't really like to see more than 2. Unless you're on a really awkward line, you've got to try and generate some extra stability. So definitely looking at minimum 1, maximum 2 club head widths for your stance. What that's going to do is going to allow you to get your weight more forward in your stance, and actually as you during the swing, because the stance is narrow, it's going to help your stability in regards to not swaying away from the ball. If I set up with a wide stance and I take the club away, it's very easy for me to get my weight onto my right foot. Therefore, it's going to make it even more difficult to get my weight to my left foot or my front foot where it needs to be as we're about to strike the ball. So keeping the stance really narrow, favouring this left side at setup, and even during the swing now, even though my hips have rotated to back with the backswing, my weight is still, my pressure is still into my left side. That means on the way back down, I can start to get help me get a steeper angle of attack so I can hit down on the ball. So width of stance is going to have a direct relation to points 2 and 3 of this video. I don't think you can really do points 2 and 3 without getting point 1 correct. So bringing me into point 2, right now we're talking about the mentality of chipping. There are instances where the grass is a little bit longer and you might not have much green to work with, and you can kind of do that specialist shot where you get underneath the ball as you're about to strike it. I think that's fine if you are fully in control of your golf game and your swing and the impact factors that you want to create. But as a general rule of thumb, we want to be trying to hit down on the golf ball. We certainly do not want to be trying to get under the ball to scoop it up into the air. We have plenty of loft on a wedge, okay? So if we're or a sand wedge or a lob wedge or a gap wedge, whichever one you may use, we're going to be chipping it in and around 20 yards maximum. So it's a very short shot. And if we start to try to get the mentality of getting under the ball, 2 things are generally going to happen. The spine angle and the shoulders are going to start to lean up towards the sky. So that means your body weight is going to start to move back towards your right foot. That's going to bring me into point 3. But also the hands are going to release early. If the hands release early and the club then tries to get ahead of your hands, it's like this position, we'd want to see them more in this position. But if the club then starts to get ahead of your hands, then the club actually starts to shallow out into the swing. So as I'm coming into impact, the club actually then starts to shallow out early, stopping the club from hitting down on the ground, and then it's very, very easy to hit the middle of the golf ball. So from 10 yards just off the green, you're probably going to have another 5-yard chip coming back because you just managed to thin it across the other side of the green. So, and we've all had it, we've all done it. There's nothing worse than actually doing that shot. So we want to make sure we've got the right mentality, that we're trying to hit down on the back of the golf ball, not allowing the hands to release early. Releasing the hands early is going to probably hit a thin shot, or is going to hit a fat shot where the club can land too early and then obviously hit the ground before the ball. So that's something we definitely do not want to be doing. Point number 3 brings me straight into weight distribution. So if we've got a wide stance and we're trying to get under the ball, where's our body weight going to be? It's going to be back onto the right foot. We're going to feel like we've tried to get under, so we're going to end up like this. If we've got a wide stance, the body weight swayed off the ball, generally swayed off the ball as you take the club away, making it almost impossible to get the weight back to the left side as we're about to hit the shot. So weight distribution in these shots is absolutely key, but we do need the setup to be perfect. So the setup needs to be slightly narrow stance, maybe 1 or 2 club head widths, weight favouring this left hip, pressure into kind of the balls of the left foot, presumably you only got one left foot, and making sure the weight stays in that position. So as we're starting to rotate, shoulders and hips have turned, then on the way down, the mentality makes a huge difference as well. We need to understand that we have to hit down on the golf ball. So the mentality to hit down on the golf ball is also going to encourage the pressure to stay more in towards your left-hand side as well. So we're allowing the lower body and upper body to work together, but we're going to be using it around that left side as well. So making sure that the stance is narrow, the mentality that we're going to hit down on the golf ball, weight distribution stays on the left side. That's a nice little shot. There, narrow stance, weight forward into the left side. The mentality is I'm going to hit down on the back of the golf ball, turn, that's carried. 10 yards maximum, and it's just had that little bit of release on the way through. So there are my 3 points for the do's and don'ts of chipping. Coming up tomorrow is the 3 do's and don'ts for pitching as well, so please do check them out tomorrow. Actually, if you kind of collaborate it all together, it's kind of 6 do's and don'ts for chipping and pitching, so they're all very much related to each other with the mentality of how to hit down on the ball, and also in terms of the stance and in terms of weight distribution from today, and you're going to get 3 more as well tomorrow, so please do check them out. If you've enjoyed the video, please do hit that like button, helps me circulate this tip amongst all your fellow golfers. And thanks for watching though guys, and we'll see you soon.